Hey guys, Andy here. So I should have what will hopefully be a very interesting matchup today. We have on the one hand the Pocophone F1, which is the budget device with the high-end specs, and on the other hand is my daily, the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, the pretty much most expensive Android phone you can buy. So the Pocophone has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 chipset with an octa-core 4x2.8 GHz Cryo 385 Gold and a 4x1.8 GHz Cryo 385 Silver. It's got a Adreno 630 and 6GB of RAM. So that is pretty much as sort of top spec as you can go. And we're throwing that up against the Note 9, which is obviously the European version. So it's got the Exynos 9810. It's got an octa-core 4x2.7 GHz Mongoose M3 and a 4x1.8 GHz Cortex A55. It's got a Mali G72 MP18. That's the GPU, and it's got 6GB of RAM. So quite frankly, I don't know a lot about the Exynos setup and things, but it's the equivalent of the Snapdragon 845. And like I say, it's the most expensive Android you can buy pretty much. So how will it match up to a device a third of its price? Let's find out. So we're starting things off with the fingerprint sensor test. Now possibly the Pocophone, the screen was on, as you might have seen as I flipped it over. It was very quick, but let's try again. It wasn't that second one. Let's try once more. No, I think definitely the Pocophone is the faster fingerprint sensor. Very impressive actually, very quick. We're going to move on to the Angry Birds 2 opening test. And again, it looks like the Pocophone F1 has the slight advantage. Oh, that's very close. But then it goes into the actual game before the Note 9. I will then close both of the sets of apps down, clear all the memory out, and then we'll join again as I'm sort of part way into the second time of tapping, and this time the Pocophone looks to have a bit more of an advantage. We will then, again, I'll close everything and we'll go into Geekbench 4 and I will start that up. Now Geekbench 4 is very slow actually, it takes a lot longer than Geekbench 3, so obviously I'm going to skip ahead and we'll jump through to the finishing moments. Interestingly, the Note 9 is running ahead of the Pocophone. That normally indicates towards which might score higher. And the Note 9 with a respectable 8,928. Now, I can tell you the Pocophone has scored over 9,000 for me, so I'm not quite sure. That's the worst run I've seen it do on Geekbench 4. And normally, I would have said the Pocophone is going to slightly edge the Note 9. So I'm not sure what went wrong. They've both got liquid cooling, so the fact we've come straight out of Angry Birds opening into the benchmark shouldn't really be an issue. But the Note 9 did win it, but as I say, the Pocophone definitely can score higher than that, so just bear that one in mind. Then we're going to head outside to test the GPS of both devices. I will start things off by resetting the AGPS state, then I'll try and close the apps as quick as I can. And when I say close, I don't mean totally close, but shut down and open back up again. And Samsung, the Note 9 seems to have kind of held the lock of the different GPS satellites through the closing of the app and reopening, but the Pocophone couldn't do that. So that's now actually struggling to get the apps, to get the satellites back. And we're still waiting, and we're still waiting. I left it in real time, just kind of so you get a better idea. I think even if I speed it up ×4 and tell you I'm speed up ×4, it still don't really get a feeling for it. So it's recognizing more satellites, and finally it's going to lock on one of them, 5 of them, to the point that the screen's gone to sleep, but it does now have a lock. So quite slow by the Pocophone with the GPS lock. We're going to move on to the screen brightness test. I'm going to turn both of the auto brightnesses off. The Pocophone already up near the top. The Note 9 giving me a warning, you shouldn't go too bright, it'll blind you. And we're coming back to my totally white screen. I mean, I think you can see already. I'm not sure I need my light meter for this, to be honest. So the Pocophone scoring sort of 470s at best, really. Well, 489 there. The Note 9, although not scoring as highly as most Samsung devices have had before, is still the high 600s. So it's not even close, this one. And this is often where you do see the budget devices struggle a little bit, is on the screen. Then we should try the speakers. Now they're both touted having stereo speakers, but I'm not sure I believe the Pocophone, to be honest. But anyway, let's see what they sound like.
Tell me where to go, tell me what to do. I'll be right there for you. Tell me what to say, no matter if it's true. I'll say it all for you. Tell me where to go, tell me what to do. I'll be right there for you. Tell me what to say, no matter if it's true. I'll say it all.
Then put tires on and headphones on straight ahead. Kids try and start ish. Kids try and start ish. But if this is all there is for me, life offers white. But if this is all there is for me, life offers white. Bother even trying to put up a fight's nonsense. But I think a light bulb just lit up like crosswords. And use my enemies' words of strength to try and draw from and get inspired off them. Cause all my life I was told that sex a lying dog is supposed. Now you shut up, I'm taught. I am not ish. Why you whack Oscar giant sacks? You thought I was full of horse and now you worship the ground on which
I'm never sure how this comes across on the video, but they're both similar volume, but definitely the Note 9 sounds better. I'm reasonably confident. Let's move on to sort of spoken voice. In this case, it's from a podcast to see how they sound there.
Users are, and the government's trying to basically subpoena all this information out of the big cloud providers.
Essentially gave organizations like GCHQ and the NSA a free rein to go do mass surveillance. It also It also overturned a lot of the rules and laws. And now we're in the situation where people
About various use cases, who the users are, and the government's trying to basically subpoena all this information out of the big cloud providers. And the challenge is I'm sure big cloud providers. And the challenge is I'm sure.
So again, similar volume wise, but the Note 9 definitely sounds better than the Pocophone F1. So the speaker goes to the Samsung device. Now I'm going to move on to the browser test. I'm going to clear data from both devices. And I'm actually going to use a couple of different websites because I'm going to use what's on the speed dial elements. So we're going to go to my website, androidandy.uk. I do try and put some articles and my thoughts on there from time to time. Please go and have a look. Both seem quick, nice and slick and quick. No issues there. Let's move on to the second site, which in this case will be The Verge. The Note 9 looked to get in quicker, but then this like cookie notice seemed to hold everything up, which was a little bit weird. But generally there's not a lot between the two in this. I mean, I guess much like the benchmarking, well, and Angry Birds Opening really, to be fair, there's very little between them performance-wise, which is impressive for the Pocophone, considering, like I said, it's a third of the price. Now we're going to the final website. It did look like the Pocophone edged through there on NFL.com. So obviously we're only testing certain elements, and most of it is kind of hardware spec-based in many ways. But the Pocophone definitely does itself proud, I think, for a £250 device compared to the £900 Note 9. Obviously, things we're not comparing are the camera, the software and sort of fluidity, and I think that's where you're probably going to lose out with the Pocophone, is kind of the polish in some ways. But that's probably for another video. Well, that's for my review video, which will be out in the next within the next week. So do subscribe if you haven't. But I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. For now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fellow that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also, come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum if you've got any questions about things or request me to review things or anything else. Just come and have a chat on the forum.